Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday night here in North Carolina. Welcome to the Friday night live stream. I was laughing at the slew of comments coming in during the pre-roll. Good thing I had my microphone off because I was hysterical. But again, welcome. Thank you for joining me. You know my style of streams. It's come hang out with me on a Friday night when I go live. Bring your beverage of choice. My beverage of choice tonight, I went back to the vodka and cranberry. Let me all know what you're having. If you're having anything put that down in the chat. I'd be curious. And so we have a couple things to share with you this evening. A couple of new toys that I've added to the arsenal. A couple of changes again. I'm always modifying the studio. So, we'll go through some of those things, talk about some of the things I've been working on, some of the things I've been testing, and we'll just see how it goes. But first, let's jump over to the comments and see who's all here. We'll share some of those hilarious ones with you. So we have Joe over at Tech for Fun. Joe's first. Welcome, Joe. We have Jeremy from Michigan. Thanks, Jeremy, for joining us. Hope all is well. And then this is where I started to crack up. Been waiting for this all month. Well, I did give you 2 streams back to back a couple of weeks ago, right? 2 weeks in a row, unexpected. Let's see. Jeremy says to Joe, just barely beat me. Just barely. I saw them come in. And now this is where I was laughing. I have to share these guys. You could see them yourselves, but even bailed on my wedding anniversary. Thankfully, I beat you. I'd rather be divorced than miss a Tony stream. I think that's the one that got me laughing out loud. It's Joe's kidding. It's not his anniversary. David, welcome from Charlotte in North Carolina, another North Carolinian. Thank you for joining, David. Long time. It's been a long time. I'm glad to see you back in the chat this evening. Hope all is well. And yes, my buddy Joe does have COVID. Day 4. In fact, we were supposed to travel up to see them. Lisa and I were actually should be boarded on a plane right now up to Connecticut, but then unfortunately Joe gave us the news earlier in the week that he got sick with COVID, so we had to postpone. So I hope you're doing better, my friend. I know it's been knocking the hell out of you. Did I forget to turn on my lights? No, my lights are on. I have my key light on, my fill light, my overhead light. I'm tan, so maybe that's what you're seeing. Maybe that's why I look a little darker. Good evening, David Grishko. Thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping in. Again, Friday night hangout. Bring the beverage of your choice. Cranberry and vodka here. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Also, as we continue on through the comments, let me know how the audio is. I think I finally have my audio tuned into, at least to my liking. Let me know how it sounds to you guys out there. Learned a lot about audio in the past couple of weeks with the help of my friend Joe Trelli from Tech for Fun. So hopefully it sounds okay. It's not clipping. Let me know. Video, I guess, looks a little dark, but I think that's just more or less because I'm tan. But let me check something. Hold on one second. I might not have my key light on all the way. It might be at 25%. Let me just check that real quick. Let's see. There we go. Okay. That's what it was. It was on a preset 25%. Now this is the normal lighting. I raised it up to 40%. So good eyes, Joseph. Good eyes. All right. Hello, TVJ. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. I hope you're not going to be spending the night in the doghouse for missing the Hallmark movie. David says, finishing a little red wine before we head down to Hilton Head for the week. Oh, nice. Looking forward to that. I bet. That's one place I've never been. That and the Outer Banks, believe it or not. Those 2 are on our bucket list. TVJ is drinking water for now. David Grishko's drinking coffee. Cool. I have to join this crazy sports podcast on Wednesdays to get my Tony live fix. Except you don't see me on camera during that show. I'm working behind the glass here. But yes. Yes, David, I've gotten tan. We've been back in the tanning salons. Lisa and I are heading out to Mexico the first week in November. We have a destination wedding to attend. So again, as I've said on other live streams, prior experience years ago, we had gone to Jamaica and burnt to a crisp. So now whenever we plan on a vacation, we usually like to tan in a tanning salon 2 to 3 weeks in advance, just to get a good solid base so that we can go out in the sun when we're in the tropical climate and not fry and ruin our vacation. So, yep. Got the, didn't get the money back, Jay, but we got a credit for a trip to use in the future. We have a year to travel. So at least we didn't lose it. And I know you've been feeling under the weather too. And I hope Haley's feeling better. I'm glad to hear you're getting better. And yep, it's something is darker. It does seem dark. Yep. Well, I adjusted the main light now, so hopefully it looks better. There we go. David says now it looks like usual. Good. Much better with more light. Hey, Ashley. So at least thank you for joining. At least we could spend the evening together. If not in person, at least on a live stream. And Joe says, I don't see you on camera on Wednesdays, but I feel your presence. Yes, the Wednesday night show, it's kind of a collaborative project between a friend of mine who used to have a sports show in Boston on TV back in the 90s. He's always wanted to kind of get back into it again. I've kind of wanted to always produce a show aside from doing what I do here on YouTube. So it's been kind of a nice, fun, collaborative experience for the two of us. I've added gear to the studio as I've been sharing with you over the last couple of weeks, months. Have a few more things to share with you tonight. Did a complete revamp today. I spent a couple of hours up here and did a complete revamp on the show. So if you have tuned in the past, it's going to look a bit different if you tune in this Wednesday. This Wednesday is going to be a little bit about the NHL. My friend Les tries to cover all the sports. He's done college football, NFL, Major League Baseball. Now he's moving on to hockey. So, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Wednesday nights, 7:00 every Wednesday, we go live here in the studio. You could see part of the set behind me there. And we bring on live guests every week. In fact, last week we had, not this past Wednesday, but 2 weeks ago, we had Vince Coleman, the base stealing king from the former Major League Baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals. So it's been a really, really fun experience. So again, Wednesday nights, 7:00, check it out. I'm not on camera, but I'm working everything behind the scenes. So that's that. Jeremy says he's drinking water currently. Okay. Audio sounds great. Well, thank you, Joseph. You also had a hand in helping me get it to this point, so I appreciate that. And Ashley said I had grabbed 2 bottles of Argentinian Malbec, so I guess we'll have to drink them in your honor. Yes. Cheers. And then we will reschedule and we will share in some Argentinian Malbec together. Okay, so now Zach N., thank you for joining. Just saw your chat pop up at the last minute. So hope everybody's doing well. It's pouring here in southeastern North Carolina. It's been a pretty nice week, but today for some reason the rains just came in. It's supposed to clear out tomorrow, and then we're supposed to have like 4 or 5 days of sun. In the mid to low 70s. It's perfect time of year here. It's finally drying out a little bit. The humidity is kind of leaving us. Super excited about that. So anyway, let me see if I can get this to work. Let me flip over to, so I can bring this up for you. Hold on one second. Let me flip over to Super Source here. And I'm just going to sign into the KiloView D350 decoder. I just want to get an SRT feed going from my phone over to the decoder so that I can kind of just show you a couple of new things I got in the studio. Just let me bring my phone up. Give me 1 second. And then I'll move it to the output. Let's just make sure it connects. Okay, so we have it on the screen. So let me bring it over to the output. And now I'll switch to that input on the ATEM. And I'm also probably going to switch. No, I'll stay on this mic. Okay, so you should be able to see my phone, and you should be able to hear me still on the microphone. All right, so there's the first new addition to the studio right there. I ordered the Stream Deck XL. I had the original Stream Deck. In fact, it's right here. Hold on 1 second. So see if I can give you side by side so you can see the difference in the sizes. So the reason I got the Stream Deck XL, doing more now with the sports show and my own stuff, I got tired, honestly, of flipping pages on here to get to all the buttons that I needed to engineer the show. So spent the money to get the new Stream Deck. So that was one of the things that I got. And I'm happy to say I was a little concerned because I've never switched Elgato gear like that before. So I was a little nervous taking the old one out of service and putting the new one in service. But honestly, Elgato made it super simple. They just basically asked, a pop-up came up on the screen asking if I wanted to just copy the profiles to the new Stream Deck. And I said yes, and we were up and running. I just had to move some buttons around after the fact because some were on second or third page, but other than that, it worked out perfectly. So that's one of the new things we got. And then I'm going to pan up over here, and I have a new light added to the set for sports, Schwartz Talking Sports. And I got another Amaron 100D, and then that is the Aperture Dome SE. So that's really helping a lot, and it's also allowing me, I don't want to blind you guys, but I'll kind of pan over. You'll see I have another big dome in front of me. I'm kind of not pointing right at it. That's just making it easier for me to not have to constantly move my light around, because I was constantly taking my big light and raising it up, changing the angle on it, turning it, and then blasting it at 100% illumination just to light up less back there on the screen. So I finally got tired of doing that, and I got tired of moving my stuff all the time. So we invested in another one that's positioned perfectly for him. So yeah. So anyway, so that's some of the new stuff we got going, or that we've added to the studio since the last stream. Let me go back to see what's going on in the comments, see if anybody more folks joined us. Seems like we have 7 of you, 8 of you here, 3 likes. Let's just go back and see what's going on, and then we'll continue on. Let's see. Where did I leave off? The lighting, drinking water, TVJ, something is darker. Okay, I think we left off with David Grishko's comment about that looks like usual. Then Joe says much better with the light. There we go. The 2 bottles of Malbec. Zach's in the house. Okay. Jeremy asks, when Les does his take on women's beach volleyball, I'll be there. Interesting. Should I ask? Should I dare ask? Why? Cheers to that, Jeremy. Thank you, Joe. And if you haven't checked out the show, there's the link to the YouTube channel. The show can be found also obviously on YouTube after the fact on demand, but it's also up on Spotify. You can view it. You could watch the video and listen to it, or just listen to the audio only on Spotify. It's also on Google Podcast as well, which I just got a notification that Google Podcast is changing. They're moving to something else, and I honestly don't recall what they're migrating to. And then again, honestly, you could follow it on TikTok and Instagram as well. Thanks for posting that, Joe. Exactly. That's why I said, do I dare ask? So, quite the calculator you've got there. Yes, I do. I am enjoying the Stream Deck. It is making life much easier, especially since I've gotten very comfortable switching the show and controlling the show from the Stream Deck. I no longer, very rarely do I go over to the actual ATEM Extreme. And like, where in the beginning, I used to use the ATEM Extreme constantly, but now I'm pretty much running, I would say 95% of the show from the Stream Deck. And for me, I find that easier. I make a lot less mistakes switching. So it took a little getting used to, but I'm finding it a lot more streamlined for me. So yes, I said all sport. Oh, Tony said all sports. Well, he will. I mean, I think he covered a couple of weeks ago, early October, he covered women's softball. So, I mean, women's volleyball is not out of the question, Jeremy. Go on the channel and make a request. Put a comment on one of his videos. He'll respond. Yep, and he covered transgender athletes as well. So, and TVJ says, I should have bought the larger Stream Deck. Having multiple pages is annoying. Yes, it really is, especially when you're actually, not so much for me, for myself, for what I'm doing when I'm recording videos or when I go live, but when I find myself doing like an actual production, like I am for Les, it definitely was getting on my nerves. So this is so much easier. What does this say? I can't wait to see QuickTech Studios open its doors with multiple sets and a dedicated control room. Yeah, Jay. Wishful thinking. I've talked with Les about that just to kind of get it out of here. I mean, it's working here fine, but it would be nice to have that separation, and then I could actually talk to him in his earpieces through the talkback mic on the mixer that I have, the interface. Can't do that. I can't utilize that feature now because we're in the same room. So I'm usually like waving my hands like a maniac and giving him a cut sign and going like this, and holding up boards with writing on it like this for him to see. It would be so much easier if I was in a separate, room, a little bit more soundproof from where he's at. When are you flying out? Meet in North Carolina. Did I miss something? Who is that question to? Is that to me? Are you referring to when we go to Mexico? Oh, well. Anyway, I'm sure you'll elaborate. Jeremy says, I'm not a huge sports guy. A little college football is about it for me. Women's beach volleyball can be fun. Yes. Love it. Love it. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for joining. All right. So, got a couple of things. Let's see. What do I want to do first? Oh, that was for Jay to launch your studio. All of us to meet. I gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I don't know. I'm going to switch mics now because this box is huge. So hold on one second. Can you hear me okay? I know it sounds different. It probably doesn't sound as good as the main microphone, but as long as you can hear me, let me know in the comments before I proceed any further. Okay, well, let's see. Jeremy says it's all good, can hear you fine, sounds okay. Okay, thank you guys. All right, so new addition to the studio. I bought a pair of JBL studio monitors, 305p Mark II. This is just one of them I'll open up. It's huge. I'm not really quite sure the best view to do this. I was going to do this view, but I think I'd rather just stick to, and the overhead view is not that great. The overhead view would be just that. So I think what I'm going to do is just stick to this view and just do the unboxing like this. So handy dandy screwdriver. And if my buddy from, where's he from? I don't remember where he's from, is watching this, and he sent me a nice knife for opening up packages because I used to use my keys, but haven't heard from him often, honestly. I do reach out to him every once in a while, and for lack of reason, his name is slipping my mind right now, but he's been a channel follower for, gosh, probably about 4 years now. All right. And I think Keith said he wanted to see this unboxed. So if he's here, yay. If not, Keith, you're missing out. Okay. Well, pretty packaging. Let's see. There we go. That's what it looks like. I didn't realize these were as big as they are. I got to find room. I might just get stands. I don't know. So we will go over the specs, and maybe I'll just take you out to the Sweetwater webpage to go over them. But let me get it out of the box. I mean, they're monitor speakers. You know, I'm not going to belabor the point and stay the whole stream on it, but it's what's happening here. So giving you guys an update. Okay. Quick start guide. You know I don't read that. Styrofoam. Okay, here we go. Let me save you the annoying sounds. All right, now maybe this one I'll let you hear because I know for whatever reason people on YouTube like this. There we go. And you got the power adapter, power cord actually. And here it is. Nice looking speaker. Hope they sound as good as they look. Usually can't go wrong with JBL. I remember having JBLs in my car. So tweeter up on top. We'll get the specs on the tweeter, the woofer. Solid box. here's a look at the back. Now you can't really see that all too well, but I'll tell you what's on there. So, and I know Joe likes this part of the stream when I change my glasses. Okay, so we have, let me see if I flip to the top camera now. Let's see. We have balanced XLR and balanced TRS inputs. We have an input sensitivity that is minus 10 dB to plus 4 dB. Then you have boundary EQ settings, a high frequency trim, volume control, on, off, and the power cord. So, and God, these have some weight to them. So they will go somewhere on this desk. Probably, let me get back and I'll show you, give you an idea of where I think they're going to go. Let me get back into here. Thank you for your patience. Okay, let's try this now. So we're going to go back to the Stream to Studio app. It's connecting. Okay, so, all right, if you can see over there, you see the little 7-inch field world and the camera. I'll probably put it over there. I'll move that camera arm. And then the other one, I don't know if it's going to fit over there, and I don't want it to really block the light, but in any event, actually, let's take a closer look now that we have this camera. Let's just pan. Cool. Let's take a look at the back. We'll just try to do a slow pan, not make you sick. So there you can see the balanced inputs, the input sensitivity, the boundary EQ, the high frequency trim and the volume, and then the power and the power port and the on off button. So I hope that was a better, closer look for you. So yeah, I'm excited to get these started, get these up and running. Probably be my project for tomorrow. We're going on a motorcycle ride in the morning for breakfast, which we normally do this time of the year because the weather is gorgeous, providing it clears up and it's not raining. It's supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow, so we'll see. I think I could switch back to the other mic now. Okay. Alrighty, let's go back to the comments and see where we're at. Alrighty. All right, so we're back on the regular mic. And Jay says, yes, if Tony launches a studio, I will fly drive down. Awesome. I'm going to hold you to that. We'll have a studio launching party. If Tony ever did a ribbon cutting on his current studio, we could use that as an excuse. Jeremy, you're invited too. It's still warm there. Some beach volleyball. We'll see if we can arrange that, Jeremy. I tell you what, if you come, I'll get some girls on the beach. Yes, Joe. Thank you, Dennis Pillow. For whatever reason, his name was slipping my mind, and I reach out to Dennis every once in a while just to check in on him because I know he has some periodic health issues that he's dealing with, and it's been a while, so it's time for me to reach out again. And Jay says, I just ordered a new 6-monitor LG video. Wow. Nice. Are you going to, hopefully you're going to take some video of and share the actual construction of it, the setup. Would love to see that. That sound when the box came off the speaker is what it sounds like when I come out of a shirt at the end. Sleep. Holy crow. All right. All right. So cool. And you wonder why I laugh and smile. Okay. So that was one thing I wanted to share with you. Real quick, let me just see if I can get you to the specs on that. Let me flip over. I don't want to belabor it, but let me see if we can get to the specs on those speakers. Let me flip to there. Let me flip to there. Okay, actually, this is the Amaron 100D. $169. That's the new light that we added to the studio. Love the light. That's my main light here too, as well. And well, while we're on Amazon, let me show you the dome. And then I got the Aperture Dome SE, $99. And it's doing the job just fine. 33.5 inches for the Dome SE as far as the size is concerned. All right, and I wanted to look up, I wanted to go to Sweetwater. I wanted to do just a quick search on those. What the heck did I do? Oh, Sweetwater. Okay. Got to lay off the vodka. There we go. And these are the JBL. Definitely got to lay off the vodka. JBL. 305P Mark II. 305. Oh my gosh. There we go. Ah, here they are. 149 a piece. That was a challenge to get here, wasn't it? Jeez. I already showed you the views. There's a clearer view instead of my wavy hand. All right, let's go. Just take a quick look at the specs. Ported design for greater accuracy. Here we go. Next generation JBL transducers. Boundary EQ settings compensate for environmentally induced low frequency anomalies. Let's see what else. Integrated custom D amplifiers delivers 82 watts lower frequency 41 watts, higher frequency 41 watts of power for high output dynamic range. High filter, high frequency trim, which adjusts high frequency output to accommodate room acoustics or personal preferences. Flexible connectivity with balanced XLR and quarter-inch TRS inputs plus 4 dB to minus 10 dB input sensitivity, volume control. What else? Anyway, 2-year warranty from Sweetwater. So I imagine I'm looking forward to getting these all set up in the studio. Okay, let's go to here. Next on the list, let me just check the chat real quick. I don't think too much has come in. Yes, +1 showing the monitor wall. Would definitely want to see that in action. Yeah. Okay, so here's another thing. Let's see how we do with this now. Actually, if you guys would be so kind, I'm going to be right back because Joe made a comment about having to pee and now I have to pee. So I'm going to do this real quick. Hold on one second. I will be right back. Okie doke. I'm back. Joe, are you laughing out loud? I hope I strive to entertain. So, okay. Let's see what I missed. No. The mic was off. That's right, Jeremy. Yes, David, vodka will do that. In fact, let's contribute to the next bathroom run. And no, I'm not drunk. I only had one about 2 hours ago. I just enjoy doing this. I enjoy hanging out with everybody. Hopefully I could bring a smile to your faces and make you chuckle. Hey, good idea, Jeremy. Good idea, Jay. Thank you. Maybe I will do that next time. All right. So the next thing I wanted to share with you, we got new iPhones last week. We got iPhone 15s, and we jumped carriers. We jumped from Verizon to T-Mobile, and I have to tell you, best so far, 1 week later, best move I've ever made. We've had this same phone number now going on almost 30 years, and we've just ported it from carrier to carrier. When we first got it, we were on the Nextel service when Nextel had the old push-to-talk phones. And then we went from Nextel to Verizon to AT&T, back to Verizon to Cricket, back to Verizon, and now we are on T-Mobile. And I will tell you, I wouldn't give T-Mobile a look 10 years ago, but right now I have to tell you, I'm highly impressed. Blowing AT&T and Verizon out of the water, at least in this area. I have full service now in areas where I should have full service because the area is developing and the population is growing quickly. And it's amazing that the two major carriers are suffering like that in such a populated area. T-Mobile actually has a tower, I found out after I switched, right down the block. So service is phenomenal on the phones. Anyway, with that, I took their home internet because it's normally $50 a month. And with the two lines, it drops the price to $30 a month. Not that I needed it, but I kind of figured, backup internet, which I don't have right now. I do have the 1 gig symmetrical fiber, but I don't have a backup. And I had been considering getting the local coax dealer in here, Spectrum, to do Spectrum as a backup. But I'm going to give this T-Mobile home internet a try. Now, I don't know that I would necessarily recommend it for main internet. In fact, one of my customers that we networked their house last year had called me and they switched from Spectrum to the fiber provider down here. And then about 2 months ago asked if they were thinking of switching because they did the same thing. They got the phones and T-Mobile offered them the home internet, the wireless home internet, and they wanted to switch from the fiber provider to that. And I was like, don't do it. You're just going to be making a huge mistake. And then you're going to be calling me constantly because you're unhappy. And there's really nothing I can do at that point if you switch your provider to something like a wireless provider. Now, that said, as a backup, it may be a viable solution. From what I understand, the speeds are pretty decent, depending on how close you are to a tower and where you position it in the house. So we're gonna find that out, and that's the other thing I want to. Might as well try it online because they said it's so super simple to set up. Oh, you just take it out of the box and plug it in and download the app, and you're up and running. So we're gonna put that to the test. So let me grab that, and we'll get it opened. Okay, here it is. Let me grab my handy dandy screwdriver. Hey, let me know if anyone out there in the chat has T-Mobile and how it's working for you. Trust me, I'm not knocking it. And then if you do have it, I wasn't, you weren't taking what I was saying as an insult. I just don't know that I would trust it as my main provider. In a situation, I guess if that's all your if that's your only option, then yeah. Okay, so we get a nice pink quick start guide. Again, do you think I'm going to read that? Nope. Put that over there with the JBL guide. Let's see what we get in here. T-Mobile 5G gateway safety and regulation information. Okay. Remove some of the packaging and pull this puppy out of the box and see what we got. Okay. Here it is in all its glory. Let me flip to the top-down camera so you guys can get a better look at it. Okay, so there it is. Venting on the sides. It's got the 2 Ethernet ports, power port, USB port. It comes with the SIM card installed is what I was told. And there's the slot for the SIM card. So it's basically just plug it in and it should boot up. So that's the box. It stands probably about, I'll hold it sideways so you can see. It stands probably about 8 inches tall. It's probably 4 to 4.5 inches cube shape. So let's see, there's got to be a power cord in the box. Yep. It's one huge power brick, don't you think? So it is, just give you the rating on that. So it is 15 volts, 2.5 amp output. Okay. Let's get rid of the box. And let's see if we can get this puppy up and running. Oh, here we go. While we're doing that, I'll scan the chat while I'm getting this ready. I'll share some of them in a minute. I'm just laughing. All right, so let me get this plugged in. Okay. Plug it into the bottom one. Turn it on. And let's see. It says powering up. While that's powering up, let's see what's going on in the chat. Okay, let's see what do we got going on here. TVJ says, I will try to show the wall once it is set, once the set is built, or maybe do a test. This thing is still powering up. Jeremy says, now you've got to do a drunk stream so you can have bloopers for a year. Oh, I could probably do bloopers for a year in one video recording. Yep, agree. Not had any luck with Verizon here, TVJ, at all. Oh, this is still booting up. So we'll come back to this once. Let me cut to this screen, and once it changes, we'll go from there. Don't forget your military discount. Not me, David. Unfortunately, I'm not a veteran. Never served or had the opportunity to serve. But I think they did give me a discount for being a public servant as an educator. So, and my age as well. So, TVJ says a coworker switched to T-Mobile and is very happy. Joe says I have it as a backup. I've gotten a max 600 down and 50 up. Now, interesting, Joe. Those are incredible speeds, especially the down speed. Do you have it near a window? Because they say put it up as high as you can in the house, put it as close as you can facing a window. So I'd be curious. When I did my T-Mobile Mint versus Verizon comparison, it was better in every aspect, in every spot I tested. Interesting. Geez. We'll just go past those two comments. Let's see. Doesn't have bridge mode, so you can put it in front of your super duper tricked out router. No. Unfortunately, it's going to be in a there's no control like that. That much I do know. It's going to be in a double NAT situation. So yeah, no. From what I've read and what couple of videos that I have watched, it does not. Yeah, Joe says I didn't see bridge mode on mine. And it was not by a window, and you were getting 600 down and 50 up. Wow. Well, we're going to find out now, because there's apparently a tower a block to 2 blocks away, and I see the tower every time I leave the community, and I was happy to hear that T-Mobile was on the tower. Now, it's interesting because the girl in the store said T-Mobile has a tower, has their own tower, and I just thought that various service providers rent space on the towers to put their gear. Maybe Jay, I know you're to TV and stuff with transmitters and towers, but maybe you can provide a little clarification on that. I can't imagine that whole structure is T-Mobile. Jeremy says, I was considering T-Mobile home internet, but wonder if you can disable the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I don't know, Jeremy. I'm not sure. They say the Wi-Fi on it's fantastic, though, as far as the reach and the distance. So we're going to, we're not going to find out as far as distance, but hopefully I'll get this thing set up and we'll test the speeds. So, all right, let's see. All right, so it says I'm just reading on the front instead of trying to get you guys to see what's on the little display. It looks like we have 3 out of 4 lines just switched from 4G to 5G. And actually it's 4 out of 5 lines, so almost a full signal. It basically says download the T-Mobile Internet mobile app, which I have done already. I haven't launched it, but I figured I would save the time. So, let's see. They switched the iPhone 15 from Lightning to USB-C. I don't have the adapter to run my phone into the ATEM to actually show you. The adapter I have is the Lightning to HDMI. So I'm sorry. It's just going to have to be like this. So we're going to launch the T-Mobile app. Allow T-Mobile Internet to use your location. Allow while using the app. T-Mobile would like to find connected devices. Allow. Let me try this view. Hold on. There. Okay. So it's searching. Welcome to T-Mobile Internet. Get started. Already set up. Log in. Let's get started. Hope I don't have to create an account. I guess I would, right? All right, so while that's doing that, let's look at some comments. I see them rolling in. All right, so it's a 5G gateway. It asks, which device are you setting up? So they have a LTE Wi-Fi gateway choice, a 5G gateway, which is this guy right here. Let me bring it into the mix. And then a 5G gateway in white. So we're just going to go with the 5G gateway in black. Next, power it up. We did that already. We're not going to play the video. They say the video just helps you kind of walk around your house and find what they believe to be the best spot. We're just going to keep it right on the desk here and test it. I mean, there's a window in front of me about 8 feet away, but that's fine. I'm going to skip the video. Let's check the signal direction at your location. So I have to enter my address. So let me do that this way. Confirm location. Great news, we found your signal. Ideal placement moving nearest the window by a window or preferably on a top floor. Got it. Okay. Okay, let's connect gateways, what this screen says here. And then we have to scan the QR code on the back of the device. Okay. All right, connect to power. If your gateway has a power button, press and wait for it to start up. We did that. Next, wait for gateway to start. We did that. Skip. Are you sure your gateway must have been up and running for at least 2 minutes before proceeding? It is, so we're going to skip. Check gateway status. Look at the screen. On your gateway is an upgrade in progress. No upgrade in progress. Wi-Fi permission. The app uses Wi-Fi to set up your gateway. Please join the T-Mobile Wi-Fi when prompted. Join. I'm sorry I'm walking you through this, but I wanted to do this live and at least get it tested. We'll have a sip while it's searching. All right, let's go look at the comments while we're waiting. It says your connection is very good. Now that your gateway is ready, you can update your Wi-Fi network name and password. For right now, I am going to leave the name, but I am going to, they put some ridiculous password in here, which I am not going to remember. So I'm going to delete it and put something like ridiculously simple now so I can connect to it easily. And then I'll change it. Submit. This will take about 20 seconds. Let's see, what am I missing here in the chat? Jay's clarifying that almost every cell phone site has multiple providers on it they like to share. Well, I'm sure there's revenue involved for somebody renting out the space on those towers. So in any event, thank you for clarifying, Jay. You sent me the T-Mobile versus Verizon speed chart via Signal. Feel free to share. Oh, cool. T-Mobile wants to join. Yep. T-Mobile Internet wants to join Wi-Fi app. Go ahead. All right, I'll look for that in a second, Jay. Let's see what Joe says here. T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T are the only carriers that actually own towers, meaning they have their own transmitters. Everything else is tier 2 and running deprioritized off one of those carriers. Gotcha. This is the password you will use to manage your gateway. Again, I am going to make it something ridiculously stupid right now because they have these long. I'm just going to make it something I can easily remember. And then again, I could always change it. Submit. Your setup is complete. Woohoo! Let me get that comment off the screen. All right. So on a scale, based on where it's at, let me show you this. So on a scale from excellent to very good, good, weak, and poor, my status is very good, considering I haven't put it near a window and there's drapes covering the window and it's just here. We're going to go with it for now. And let's see. So let me get connected to this Wi-Fi. I should be already. I am. All right, interesting. Let's see what the speed tests are. Let me go to cut to full screen. And let's bring up, and I'll put this on the screen for you. Let's do this. Okay, we're going to sit that on top there like that. Maybe that's going to impede the speed. I don't know, but let's see what happens. Interesting. Well, I guess sitting it right on top of the device isn't the smartest thing to do. So we have 58 down and 25 up. Let me move this away a little bit. Let me like put that over there. Let me try this one more time. Let's see what we get. Okay, so I moved it literally about 4 to 5 feet away from the phone, and I got 150 down that time and 16 up. So not bad considering I have done absolutely nothing to try to maximize the placement. I guess I could try to put it by the window, but I don't have a long enough power cord right now. But in any event, there you go. So there's the unboxing of the T-Mobile home internet. Listen, if I can get 150 down on a regular basis as a backup for the amount of times that the internet goes down here, which it really doesn't, I'll take that. What I will do is I will experiment with placement and putting it around a window, and maybe just post some of the speed results if they're improved in the comments of this live show after the show. Let me see if I could bring up Jay's T-Mobile chart and share it over to my computer so I can put it on the screen. Hold on one second. All right, there. And okay. Now I just got to check my email, and then I could probably get it up on the screen for you. Okay, there it is. Let me just get it up on the screen, and then I'll switch over to it. Thank you, Jay, for sharing this. Okay, so So this is download speed test results that Jay did from the period of June 2022 to June 25th through July 2nd, 2022. T-Mobile is in blue. Verizon is in the orange. So you can see T-Mobile had a couple of dips, but overall it just blew Verizon out the door. So, yeah. So Jay reached a peak of just over 200 down. So, yeah, I'm curious to test it in different locations and see what I get. Maybe I'll do that. I won't compare it to Verizon because I don't have Verizon anymore, but maybe I'll just do something similar, Jay, whereas I tested over a week period in various locations and various times of the day and try to graph it out, something similar to what you did, and maybe we can share that next time. So thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Cool. All right, what do we got going on in the chat? To Jay's point, it doesn't necessarily mean the entire tower is that one carrier. Right. That's what I suspected, but I wasn't sure. But it's one or all of the three. Or it used to be 4 with Sprint, but T-Mobile absorbed that. TVJ says, I just learned that WeBoost has an app that will point in the direction of the cell phone tower you are using. Interesting. Well, what I might do, again, not online because, I'm kind of restricted here with everything, and I don't have a lot of plugs to be moving it around up here. But what I might do is I might run that app, the app that's supposed to help you with placement and see. But we'll see. We'll try a couple different things. Note the 5G gateway does auto firmware updates overnight between 2 and 4 a.m. Thank you, Joe. It's good to know. I'll leave it plugged in overnight tonight. And Joe says, I tested, no way to manually adjust. American Tower, an independent company, owns a lot of them. And they must be bringing in the revenue from the rental of the space. Another note I noticed, the cell bars are deceiving on the device. If I put the device in my basement, I actually get higher bars but lower speeds. Interesting. And Joe goes on to say, you can be connected to multiple variations of 5G. Go into the app, go to settings and advanced cellular metrics. Okay. Google the bands. I think N41 is the one. Okay, we'll do. Cool. All right. So, let's see. Ooh, we earned the JAU, although we, and that even with the 5-minute intro, I'm still at 104 if I subtract the pre-roll, the 5-minute pre-roll. So there you go. Just saw a comment come in from a viewer that I responded to earlier on a video that I did a couple of years ago. I'm just curious to see if it's something. Yeah, I think I can share this. I won't. Let's see. So somebody commented on one of the wiring house videos I did 2 years ago. It says the wiring for the wireless access points are good. However, you should have ran 2 RG6 and 2 Ethernet to a demarcation box on the exterior of the house for any future connections from an ISP. Also, the wiring cabinet is too small for any future upgrades to the network. Should have just pulled the wires through a hole in the wall so that a rack could be installed in the future if needed. You got to know the situation you're dealing with. You just can't, it's not one size fits all. You just don't go in and, sometimes I go crazy. I would have talked my face blue. I would have talked my face blue trying to get the customer to have runs to the TVs and other media. That is really stupid on the customer's part not to do that. So I wrote back and I said, thanks for watching and sharing your opinions. In this particular project, the builder was responsible for running the coax and Ethernet to the exterior, not me. I was not contracted to do that. Trust me, I do agree with you. When I'm contracted to run to the demarcation box, I run 2 coax and 2 Cat6 to the exterior. In fact, I've been thinking about running fiber as well from the demarcation to the AV box inside as well. Although I don't know how to terminate fiber, but it's just a consideration. The owners, so then I considered to say the owners are in their 70s and I don't foresee much of any major upgrades taking place. They wanted what they wanted and there was no changing their minds. Kind of sucks for future homeowners, but sometimes as a contractor, you have to pick and choose your battles. So the person wrote back and said, I figured it was something like that. You seem too professional to just run a couple of access points, call it a day, haha, keep up the good work. So I don't know. We've talked about putting yourself out there on YouTube. And, you just got to take the comments with a grain of salt. And I know sometimes when you get them, you just want to be like, "Arr." But, take a deep breath and respond appropriately. Because you know that everybody out there knows better than you do. So, all right. So, let's see. Joe says you should use that little power bank I got you so you can walk around hands-free. Yep, I could do that. I could do that for sure. I used that power bank when I did the UV point-to-point tests. That's how I powered it when I was out in front of the house on the street. YouTube comments, don't get me started, Jay says. And that's why you have no customers and sit there blue in the face and probably in your jewels. Woo-hoo! All right. So a couple of things I've been working on here. Joe's been helping me do a little testing on KiloView. I've been putting some videos out on the KiloView decoders, and for the most part, the device is pretty solid. But we are having one little problem that we are working with KiloView to try to rectify. And I'll show you that in a minute. But let me give you a little history on what we've been trying to do. So, where is it? So, let me switch views. All right, so I'm going to take you out to a website, epiphan.com, to their Connect product. If you're not familiar with Epiphan, they make a variety of products, primarily encoding products like the Pearl 2, the Pearl Mini, and the Nano. But then they have a couple of cloud services, Cloud Edge, Cloud Unify, which is their, remote switching platform. And then their Connect platform, which is what we were trying to test with the decoders. So if we click on Connect, basically what Connect does is the Epiphan Cloud portal, the Connect portal, signs on to the Zoom meeting, or it could be a Teams meeting. It works with Zoom or Teams. In this case, we were testing with Zoom, but it just signs on as a participant of the Zoom meeting. But then once it's a member of the meeting, what happens is it can extract each participant's audio and video and convert that to SRT. And then from there, you can take that SRT converted stream and you can send it to their cloud switching portal, Unify, with a Y, not an I. Or you can send those individual SRT feeds to, your own hardware decoders or your own switchers or whatever to a studio. So that's what we were trying to test out. We were trying to test out in a Zoom call. Joe set up couple of bots as participants, and he was going to extrapolate the SRT or the Zoom feeds into SRT and send them to me here to the decoder. So that's what we were trying to test. So that's the prerequisite to what I'm going to show you. So unfortunately, it didn't work all that great. I have a video here that I created that I sent to support. I've been working with KiloView support. Now, I apologize. This video is reduced down to 480. So when I blow it up, it's not going to look the greatest, but you'll get the idea. I just want to cancel the video. So, because I want to pause it and talk to you about it. So what you're seeing here is we're sending Joe was sending me 3 SRT feeds from his studio in Connecticut. The first one here on the left, in the left preview window, is coming from the Stream to Studio app. So I was able to ingest that, no problem. The one on the right here is coming in. He was sending it from OBS. Again, I was able to take that in, no problem. But then here, you could see, I'm going to start the playback on this. You can see that the one coming in from Epiphan Connect into the decoder is having all kinds of major decoding issues. So we thought it was odd that, the decoder was doing fine bringing in from those other 2 sources, but from the cloud service, it was having this issue. It was having a problem decoding the stream, which we couldn't figure out why. I mean, we spent about an hour trying all different settings and frame rates and this, that, and the other thing. We tried reversing it and doing listener instead of caller, that whole thing. And we couldn't get it to work. Now, oddly enough, I had the old U-Ray decoder that Jay and Joe and I are familiar with, that we've played around with in the past. And when we tested sending the Epiphan Connect SRT feed to the U-Ray decoder, it worked like a charm. Go figure, right? But in any event, this is what was happening. So then we proceeded to, the whole idea was, and this is a video that I threw together for support, so I was also narrating it as well. But in this next, right here, I'm going to stop it here. You'll see the whole goal was to send me and have me ingest 5 SRT feeds coming from Epiphan Connect. And this is the result of the decoder and how it was struggling to decode those 5 streams. And you could see the flickering green. I mean, you could partially see the video, but you see the green flickering. And then what it looked like on the ATEM or on a monitor was this here. So while it was looking green in the actual decoder, let me just go back. While it was looking green in the decoder, it was actually the output coming out the HDMI port on the back of the decoder was flickering gray and black and all different colors. So that's kind of what we've been testing and trying to get resolved on. On Tuesday evening, I spent an hour or 2 on the phone with KiloView support and their support manager, because they kept saying that it wasn't the decoder. And so, I kind of showed them how other decoders did work, but that one wasn't working when it came to pulling in the Epiphan Connect. In fact, let me show you one other thing. Let me get it up there. Hold on one second. Let me cut back to that view there. So this right here, I'm going to bring in an AWS public feed. It's a test feed. And this is an HLS. This is an HLS stream coming from AWS. And you can see it's having the same issues decoding the HLS feed as it was the SRT feed. Now, oddly enough, if you send this decoder an HLS feed from, like I have the encoder here, the KiloView encoder. If I send an HLS feed from the encoder to the decoder, it works just fine. If I send the stream an HLS, if I send the feed up to AWS from that encoder up to AWS to have it converted to HLS and pull it down using this decoder, this is what it does. Now, I'm going to run this to the output for a second so that you can see. I'm going to switch the monitor behind me to program view so that, and I'm going to go to full screen real quick again and move out of the way. No, not program. No, that didn't work. All right, never mind. That was stupid. Hold on, wait, no. I have to move that to, what input is that in? Hold on one second. That's an input 4. There. If you look at the monitor behind me, that's the HLS feed coming in. Now you can see on the decoder, it's flickering green, but on the monitor behind me, it's kind of breaking up, flickering in gray. So those are the issues we're dealing with now. KiloView was very good about it. You know, they spent quite a bit of time with me. They felt that they could fix the problem. In fact, I actually did the stream live from Epiphan Connect to the decoder so they could see it. But then they also asked me if I can send the Epiphan SRT feed to them to see if they can reproduce the problem in their offices. And in fact, they had the same issue that I did. So, again, hats off to them for being open to see it. Hopefully they will get it resolved, because I really do like the product. And the encoder, which I'm going to start to do videos on next week, the encoder is pretty cool. So, and I haven't encountered any issues with the encoder like I have with the decoder. Now, the decoder works flawlessly for everything except taking in those streams from cloud-based services. So if I were to just send, like I sent an SRT feed from, I did a short on it, I think this week, from the encoder over the internet using a mobile hotspot to the decoder, and it worked just fine. So it's not going over the internet that's the problem. It's something, by the way these streams are, I guess, being encoded, that the decoder's having a problem with coming from those cloud-based services. That's above my pay grade. You know, I know there's a couple of you out in the stream that probably have your suspicions as to what's going on, or at least understand it better. I'm going to say to you that that's above my pay grade. So in any event, I want to go back to the chat and see what you guys are conversing about. Hey, Unky Joe in the house. Unky Joe, thanks for joining. David, thank you for joining. Oh, no worries. You don't have to apologize for being late. I appreciate you stopping in. Hope you, what are you teaching tomorrow? Hope it goes well and you have a good turnout. Is it remote or in person? Yeah, definitely. I mean, based on what we're seeing here, for sure. Wow, a lot of Windows updates today. So interesting. So anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on. We're probably going to do a video comparing I hope it's okay for me to say this, Joe, but I have the KiloView decoder, the U-Ray decoder. Joe just got a great deal on a Magewell decoder, and he has um, one from a company called Data Video that he's reviewing. He's going to, the plan is he's going to send all those two to me, so I have all four here. And then I think what we're going to do is, well, we'll compare them. You know, we'll compare the specs, the size, or the latency and all that. But then I think what we're going to do is, I suggested to him that he send me the same SRT feed to all four decoders, and I will create a layout, SuperSource layout, with all four decoders in boxes on the screen, so that you guys can see not only the latency, the difference in the latency, but also the color profiles and things like that. So that's in the works. I don't know when we're going to get to doing that, but that's in the works. At least it's on the planning board. So that should be a lot of fun. Ah, very good. Self-defense. Very, very good. I was going to ask the same thing. Conceal carry. Yep. Uh, you, Tony, and I. Oh, David says you got it. Cool. Yep. 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 I have my CCW now going on 7 years. And yeah. So, although, just because I have it for 7 years, I only recently started doing it. It took me a long time to get to that point to make the decision to do it. So, but yeah, you have to, as far as I'm concerned, you really have to think it through and be ready. It's not just a question of getting that permit and like, woohoo, cool, I can carry a gun now. No, you know, you really, you got to educate yourself. You got to train, practice, you know, your routines, practice, go through you know, your motions, be prepared. There's so much preparedness involved. And it took me a long time to get to the point of saying, okay, I'm going to do this. And I do it not 100% of the time when I go out, but probably at this point, 75% of the time when I go out, 100% of the time when I'm on the motorcycle, absolutely 100%. But anyway, so you're a certified instructor, David? Is that what are you with USSCA, or what organization are you with? USCCA? There's a couple of them. North Carolina is not 18 hours. It's 6, 7 hours in the classroom, and then, yeah, followed up by a very lame shooting requirement. Unky Joe, I do it all the time, as do the people I work with. I would hate to be the person who shows up at the office with ill intent. Yeah. Hey, Bob, thank you for joining. We are only able to conceal in Tim bits on Canada. We are only able to conceal poutine and Tim bits on Canada. Okay. NRA instructor rating. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you got it, Joe. That one went. Whew. That's awesome, David. I did not know that about you. That's awesome. Yeah, Bob, it's been a long time. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. What did you miss? I don't know how long you've been here, but we talked about a couple of new things I added to the studio. We tested out, we set up the T-Mobile home internet and did a couple of speed tests. We looked at a comparison chart Jay did between Verizon and T-Mobile. I unboxed a set of JBL, well, one of two JBL studio monitors. Got a new Stream Deck up and running, well, prior to the stream. So yeah, we did a bunch of things. We talked about the encoding and, well, actually the decoding issues with a particular decoder. So yeah, so things are starting to actually wrap up, I think, at this point. But glad to have you here. Oh, okay. Timbits are donuts and poutine is French fries immersed in gravy and cheese curds. Ooh, yeah, I would not know that. So, but thank you for enlightening me. Poutine is food, Tony. French fries with cheese and gravy. So the next time we do a Zoom call to troubleshoot something, are you going to be eating poutine? David says, once I retire in March, I will be making another channel about it. Working as a New York State employee places limits on me. Yeah, no, I would imagine. I would imagine so. I would be your supporter on the new channel for that. Absolutely 100%, David. 6 p.m. is dog walking time here. Uncle Joe says in Texas, no income tax, but they screw us on property tax, so it's a wash. Same kind of deal here. Like we pay property tax on everything. And I'm not used to that coming from New Jersey. I mean, like for example, car registration, we pay your car registration and that was it, whatever it was, 30, $40. Here it's the 30, $40 plus, 200 and some odd dollars in property tax on the vehicle. Your dog is considered property down here. It's ridiculous. Everything. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I was thinking about that. In fact, even with the, that's a good point, Joe, about um, YouTube and making that kind of channel on YouTube. We were thinking because that's a hobby I have. Also, I share with Les, the guy who does the hosting for Schwartz Talking Sports, and we shoot on at least once a week on a regular basis. And in fact, you saw one of the commercials we run is one of the gun shops that we patronize, and we were thinking about doing a show on that, but you just got to be so careful. Like we wanted to have the owner of the shop come on, and I think it would be a cool show, but you know, you got to be careful, like you say. There you go. I hear you. I hear you. We just Les and I are contemplating joining an outdoor range because the range we shoot out here is indoors, and at the outdoor range we could bring whatever we want to shoot at. So it's pretty cool. I have a couple of old access points and stuff that I would love to shoot at. Did I just say that? This is a brilliant idea, David. Take that broken old tech and plink. Yep. Yep. Dogs are property, but I still can't place a value. Yep, I agree with you. They're dogs are family in this household, Jay. Only our property that we live on is taxed, or other properties we own. Our car reg is around $75 per year for new vehicle, 45 for older. That's not bad. Like I say, I pay for my truck every year about $289. Only about 30 or $39 of that is registration. Woohoo! 1JAU. Yay! 1.5. Wow. Cool. They fire machine guns 4 miles from us at the range. We can hear them all day. Oh, fun. Jeremy says, I've seen other channels that have showcased creative ways of destroying old hard drives. Yep. Holy cow, 8.75% sales tax. Wow. Yeah, we're not there yet. We're at 6.75 here, but it varies by county here. So like the next county over is 7%. It depends what county you live in North Carolina. I don't know if David Horde, if you're still here, you're from the Charlotte area. What's the sales tax rate, state and county combined where you live? So 12% by Bob. Holy crap. 34 to 55% income tax. Holy crap. TVJ says, I hit them with a large hammer and shattered the platters. I actually drill holes. In all seriousness, I drill holes through them, like several holes with a hand drill. So, I thought about bringing Minnie Mouse up here. I have 4 Chihuahuas, and I have one that I carry around in a shoulder bag. Not out in public, but she's 3 pounds tops, and in fact, she's on my arm here. It's hard for me to turn, but that's her there. And that's probably about the size of her in real life. Usually when I work in the studio all day, because she loves to be on my lap, because she's only 3 pounds and she's so frail and she's always cold regardless. So she shakes. Chihuahuas have a tendency to shake in general, but this little 3-pounder shivers constantly. So I put her in the pouch, and I wear the pouch up here when I'm working and stuff. And I forget she's there. Like, she doesn't even come out. She just is happy to be up against me, feel my body heat. So flat 6% sales tax in Michigan. David says 8.375. Wow, Nassau is up there too. 7.5 in the metro, 6.5, 6.75 in the county by TVJ. Joe says, get the dog. Seriously, Joe, you want me to go downstairs, leave the stream, and get the dog? Maddie has an owie and yipes when we touch her right shoulder. Aw, she sees the vet on Tuesday. Oh, I hope it's nothing seriously, Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe. You did not. Did you really? You did. You sent me a super chat to get the dog. All right. How do I not do that? You sent me a super chat. Guys, I will be right back. I have to get the dog. He sent me a super chat. Okay. It's going to take about a minute. Okay. I'm here. I have the dog. Here is Minnie Mouse in all her glory. Say hello, Minnie. Minnie has a problem with making eye contact. And that's Minnie Mouse, 3.5 pounds. And this is my heifer. This is Alice. I couldn't bring Minnie Mouse up without getting Alice. So when I went down, they were both behind the door, and I did not have the heart to close the door on Alice. Now Alice is a sweetie. So now I got to finish the stream with 2 dogs. So, all right, Joe, you happy? There you go. All right. I don't know if you heard Minnie Mouse growling just now. All right, so David says, in New York, we have to be background checked to buy ammo. Yeah, in Jersey was the same way. We used to have a background check, and I had an ammo purchase card that I had to show all the time. That was Jersey, not here. Yes, he did, Jay. I couldn't tell in the H2R graphics, but then I looked over at YouTube and I saw that it was an actual super chat. I was like, he did not. So stand behind him or her. Yeah, yep. Junkie Joe's dog, Addie, she fell a few weeks ago trying to jump into your lap, and that was the side I grabbed to keep. All right, well, keep us posted on that, Unky Joe. You could obviously see here that we are dog lovers in this house. That's why I said stand behind her or him. Yep, I brought you Alice too, Joe. In New York, as long as they hit a 25.5 by 11.5 inch 4 times at 9 feet, they qualify. Yeah. Turn Minnie's mic on. Well, Minnie could be heard in the RE320. Unky Joe, I applaud you for making your own ammo. I don't have the patience to do that. I know so many people collect the brass at the range. Were you laughing out loud for that one, Joe? She's not limping, but it's tender. Hello, Alice. Nice to meet you. Minnie, we have met before. Yes, I think you have met Minnie Mouse before. So they're pretty good. I mean, look, they're just kind of chilling out in my lap. Yeah. I'd actually like to take a couple of tactical defense courses. There's Ashley. Alice. Ashley says hello. Little piglet. Here, have some. No. I think I've showed you guys everything that I wanted to show you and talk about tonight. So we're just going to go through the chat and I guess kind of wrap it up soon. Let's see. An hour and 44 minutes, but that includes the 5-minute pre-roll. So I reload ammo for competition, but only 45 cal and 38. Really? You have all the machinery and whatever it takes to do the reload, I imagine. Jeremy, I learned to reload many years ago from an old Vietnam vet. Cool. Yes, Alice has a tendency to nibble on ears if you let her, and she's like goes a mile a minute. It's like she doesn't stop, right? I'm talking about you. Yes, I am. Yep. They are happiest when they are in your arms or on your lap. What about the new audio settings? Well, I really, don't feel, I mean, it was a lot of trial and error. You taught me about subtractive EQ and the different frequencies to adjust when you hear certain, but I don't feel that I'm qualified to speak to it. Like, in other words, I'm just such a newbie with it. I mean, I rolled off everything from 100 below for the low frequencies. I'm dipping at around the 2 to 250 to pull a specific frequency, and the 500 frequency to get this horrible resonant harmonics tone that I hear in my voice. I'm dipping around the 5K to pull the sibilance out a little bit because I don't have the de-esser anymore. But I mean, that's about to the point I could speak to it. I really don't, I'm not that advanced with it. I just know it's sounding better and I'm enjoying it. As far as the expander in the gate, I have the level set where I think it's doing its job without being very noticeable. The compressor, learning about the compressor, how it brings down the peaks and raises the lows and, kind of evens out the audio and all that, and makeup gain. I'm learning all about that. Again, the settings vary for every environment. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about that, Joe, other than the fact that you were a big help in teaching me all that, teaching me to understand it. So I thank you for that. Like I said to you the other day, I'm finally happy with my audio. After 7 years, I mean, I've played with the audio, I've tried different things, but I could finally get it to a point where I don't mind listening to myself, because I used to cringe hearing myself, but watching my videos back, I was like, ugh. Now I feel like I'm very happy. So David says I have 6 different reloaders and I teach that as well. Oh, cool. No, I hadn't. I showed the gear in the last video, I thought, in the last live stream I did a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, no, I think I showed it in 2 weeks in a row. I showed it when I racked it before it was all wired up, and then I showed it in the following week. But the settings weren't tweaked like they are now, so yeah. TVJ says our dog Puka has a liquor problem because she is a Chihuahua. Aw. She's mixed though with something, Jay. She's not 100% Chihuahua, is she? Unky Joe, thanks for stopping in. It was great to spend some time here with you. I appreciate it. We'll catch up with you soon. So I will say, yes, but that new teleprompter from Elgato that he showcased on his stream on Tuesday, I am kind of interested in. I know what else. And then, so I've been considering, I got to type with one hand now. So, sorry, I got dogs in my hands. All right, let me flip to here. Okay, so I have been considering, well, not considering, I am really being enticed by this guy right here, the Blackmagic Micro Studio Camera 4K G2. I don't have the ability to stream in 4K, but I have been considering upgrading my cameras in the studio, not only for myself, but for the shot with L.L.C too. And for whatever reason, I am just intrigued by this new camera at list price $999. It's got the built-in tally, which I am really liking. It's got an external mic, 12G SDI out, 12G SDI in, USB-C expansion, HDMI out. So it gives you the option either or. And I just love the look of it. I think it's so cool. You can connect again via HDMI or SDI. USB-C for external discs and Ethernet control. So I've been, ever since Blackmagic announced the new cameras, the mini, micro rather, studio camera has caught my attention. Now, that said, and that's what, $9.99? Let's see, where's the price point? Let's go back a screen. Yeah, $9.95. Another camera similar in format has caught my attention too. Again, I'm sorry for the one-hand typing. Products, data video, cameras, cameras. That's fine for now. Where is it? The, which one? Is it this one? Yeah. This is the BC-15C 4K CS mount POV camera. It's, to me, it's very similar looking to the Blackmagic camera in form factor. It's $869, so it's about $140 less. Interchangeable CS mount lenses. Built-in tally light here. Honestly, I like that tally light better than I do where Blackmagic has it. I kind of feel that it gets a little lost on the Blackmagic camera. It's power over Ethernet, which I really like. Let's see what else we got. So we got line in, line mic in, DC in, Ethernet, PoE, HDMI. So it doesn't look like it has the SDI in or out, but still, I'm trying to get my hands on this camera. I don't think Blackmagic would send me stuff to review, but I am definitely, I think I have a good shot of getting my hands on this camera. So anyway, that's what I'm pondering as my next, I guess, major purchase for the studio. But it's $2,000, no matter how I look at it, right? Because I want to at least replace this camera in front of me and the camera that's shooting less. But the flip side of it is this, right? I feel like my cameras, for the cheap cameras that they are, I mean, the Canon SL3 is a $650 body camera. And I have a $400 lens on it. So, I mean, for $1,000, I think I'm getting, I mean, compared to spending $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 on some of the better Canon cameras and the better Sony cameras. I mean, for $1,000, I feel like my picture quality, the video quality is not bad. So, you know, I am in awe about it all the time. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Isn't this great how I can just go about my business and they're just so passive? Minnie Mouse is blending right into the shirt. You can't even see her. All right, let's see what the comments say. I got 2 JAUs. No way. Almost. 10 minutes away. Oh, I got to get to 2 JAUs. I see. You're typing just... Well, I don't make as many mistakes with one hand. That's funny. Enticed by the guy in the picture. David says, I wasted my money on a teleprompter a couple of years ago. It does not fit into my presentation style. Yeah, I don't know, David, that I would use it for videos because I don't script my videos. My videos are thought about ahead of time, like the key points. Once I sit in front of the camera and go live or hit record, it's off the cuff. It's spontaneous. There's no script. I know what points I want to cover. I lay out my storyboard. Like, I don't write a storyboard, but in my head, I lay out introduction, overview, process, final thoughts, closing segment. That's my mental storyboard. And then I just have my key points that I talk to. So I wouldn't use a teleprompter in that fashion to where I would be reading a script to record my videos. What I would want to do with it is when I'm on Zoom calls or streams or stuff with other people, my camera is here. My multi-view is right below my camera, but like the Zoom call is up on the screen over here. So I kind of feel like when I'm on a Zoom call, my camera's over there, but I'm looking over here. I'm not, and I got to remember to look over there, but then I could see I'm sorry if you heard that. I could see the Zoom participants over here out of the corner of my eye. That's where I feel a teleprompter would come in perfect, because I could look right at my participants and I'd still be looking at the camera, making eye contact with those of you out in Cyberland. Well, don't do that. Send it to me. So, yeah, I agree, TVJ. I agree. Are you going to get one? Tally is underrated. Once you get used to Tally, you will love it. So that's the thing, Jay. It's a conversation I had with Joe the other day. I was sharing that data video camera with him. If I get the Blackmagic camera, I know for a fact that the Tally will work with the ATEM. I don't know if the Tally communication protocol is universal. Like, again, that's above my pay grade, or if it's, molded or, sculpted by manufacturer. So will the Tally work with the ATEM if I buy a non-ATEM camera that has Tally? I don't know. That's why I would love to get my hands on that data video camera to review and test. And Jay said, not right now, but it's on his list of things he wants for the studio. Cool. I have a moderate and laser engraver sitting in a box that I never put together. Ooh, that would be a nice live stream, David. Hint, hint. Good question, Joe. I don't know. I'm going to flip back to the website real quick. Hold on. Let me see. I don't think it is. Let's see. See if I can find the specs, and then I'll bring it up on the screen. Built-in Tally. It's got 12-volt DC power, camera using a regular DC power adapter. I know some of their bigger, more expensive studio cameras are. With the ones with the 10 gig Ethernet ports. Let's see, powered by Blackmagic. I'm looking battery backup power. So you can plug in a USB battery pack into the USB-C port. I know I'm not showing it to you, but I'm just trying to find the specs. Honestly, tech specs. Hold on, let's see. Let me flip up to that. All right, and get the comment off the screen. All right, technical specs, camera features. I know you can't see it too well because it's small, but let me at least see if it says anything. 12-volt DC power input, battery slot. So onboard battery, it could use onboard battery, 12-volt DC power input, as well as a USB-C power bank. Let's see. Storage, control, network management, Tally, software operating, power requirements, power supply, power inputs. Yeah, no, it doesn't say anything listed about PoE, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not. So good question though. Do I think you think I should switch? So you're asking me if you should switch to those Blackmagic cams for the studio. You're talking about the micro. Um, why? My question to you is why? What are they going to give you that the current Blackmagic studio cams don't? What are you going to get from them that you're not already getting from the Blackmagic cams that you have? Not really. I do like them. I mean, they're not bad. But I think what would push me is, and I know I'm going to strike a nerve with Jay, but what would, and I don't mean to Jay, but honestly, this is how I feel. What would push me to pull the trigger, so to speak, no pun intended, based on the other conversation we were having, would be if I ever decided to buy a Blackmagic, if Blackmagic ever came out with a 4K model of the ATEM line with 12 inputs. A 12 input ATEM 4K that would stream in 4K would probably be the straw that broke the camel's back to push me to get those 4K cameras or something like them. Because to me, unless I were to record in the camera or record to an attached SSD drive in 4K, plugging them into the ATEM and having them downsampled to 1080p is not, I mean, as long as I have a 1080p streaming switcher, I'm not going to get the benefit of the camera unless I record in each camera in 4K. TVJ says your shot is great, especially with the lighting. Yeah, I mean, for a budget camera, really, you can't go wrong, they always say, don't spend the money on the body, spend the money on the glass, on the lens, and the lighting. So, and I don't have a super expensive lens. I just have upgraded from the kit lens. They do look great though. Don't mess with 4K. I am done suggesting resolution upgrades to Jay. PE Doers David says, I am all set for 4K streaming with equipment. I just need to get back into streaming. Yeah, well, that putting together that laser engraving unit, Dave, would be a way to start. Hint, hint. And TVJ's asking Joe if he's growing. Meaning, I guess, if he needs to buy additional cameras. I do not, but I can direct you to someone who does. You shouldn't say above your pay grade. You shouldn't say above your pay grade. You have been able to learn very complex topics as of recently. Don't sell yourself short. Well, I thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. In my education field, part of the leadership training we are always taught is to be open to grow and surround yourself with people that will help you grow. In other words, don't surround yourself with people that aren't going to contribute to your growth. Learn from others, because there are people out there that always know more than you do. And a good leader surrounds themselves with people that they can learn from and grow from. And, point being, why am I saying this? Because I feel like I surround myself with good people, with you and Jay and all our friends in the YouTube circuit, which has definitely helped me grow, especially in the area of AV. Between you and Jay, I have to say, I've grown tremendously. So, yeah, thank you. But I appreciate that comment very much. Jay says, I doubt Tally will work across brands, especially Black Magic. They do things very differently. Yeah. Tally is so specialized, there are dedicated boxes that do Tally control. And Joe says, I agree, Jay. They don't want it to work, so you have to buy their cams. Streaming bridge. No one used channels 15 and 16 for No one used channels 15 and 16 for comms. But really, Jay, it was not directed at you, LOL. I really feel like I really do want to buy a 4K camera, but what's the sense if I don't have a 4K switching mechanism? Joe, were you laughing out loud when you saw that? Canon EOS Rebel SL3 on sale for $359. Where? That's a great deal. I haven't seen the SL3 less than $600 on Amazon, and they have some of the reused ones, you know, the refurbished ones. Ah, I see. Gotcha. Wow. 2:07, so technically 2 hours and 2 minutes. Anyway, hey guys, it was great. Joe, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. My puppies appreciate it. They're here. I don't know. They're very well behaved, but I think we have to call it a night. 2 hours stream. Wow. I went into the stream thinking, like, I said to Joe earlier today, he said, are you going to stream tonight? I said, yeah, probably. But I don't really have a topic. I'm like, you know how, Jay, sometimes you say on a Monday night, like, you know, I don't have a topic for tonight. Like, I really didn't have anything agenda. So anyway, but $359, Tony will buy 10 more. No, I will not, but that is a good price. That is an excellent price. So throw a decent lens on them and you see the quality you get from them. Seeing the dogs is worth the $5. I appreciate that. Oh, cool. There's the, oops. There it is right there. I'm going to have to, can I copy that? Oh, yeah, I can click on it from the actual YouTube chat. Let's bring it up on the screen and take a look. Canon EOS Rebel SL3. Okay, so there's a bunch of them. 409. Like new. That's still a good price. 409, 409. So, and they give you the shutter counts. And did they give you a rating? Like, I know some of the places, is it Adorama? They give you like a rating, whether or not, you know, on a scale, I think of 1 to 5 or whatever the rating is, of the condition, aside from saying like new. Pretty cool though. Thank you for sharing. All right. Yes, doggos, Bob, doggos. Have a good night, Jay. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this, guys. I'm gonna be signing off now. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for embracing Minnie Mouse and Alice. Look for that video coming on the decoder comparison. And yeah, that's it. Everyone, have a great night. Like I say at the end of each video, we'll see you all next time.